Alright guys, welcome back to another video. You asked for this battle, so here it is. The Axon 7 and the Alcatel Idol 4S go head to head. Now there's several areas that I'm going to point out in this video that make both of these phones unique. They both have pretty much some of the same things, and I'm going to point them out as fair as I can and objectively as I can. So let's get into this. So I have a screen loaded up here already, and I have the performance first. So you can see on the Antutu, this scored 83, 339, and this scored 140, 020. So the benchmarks mean somewhat something, but in day-to-day performance, though, both of these perform very well. But you know, the Axon is right. They both have somewhat of a little bit of a skin over them, and this phone is so slippery, you can just see it sliding. It's crazy. But they both have a little bit of a skin on them, a little overlay. They both perform well, but in benchmarks and like speed of devices and just day-to-day tasks, the Axon beats it out by just a little bit. Now on paper, or as you can see in that test there, the benchmarks is slanted by 50,000 plus. But in regular use, in regular use, they both perform well. This one has a little bit more stutter than this phone, and it's probably just because it has, you know, the Snapdragon 820 and 4 gigs of RAM. This has the Snapdragon 652 with 3 gigs of RAM, so that does contribute to that. Nonetheless, performance goes to the Axon 7 because it does perform day-to-day tasks with no hiccups, no stutters, no nothing. So next, let's get to the obvious here. I got them right on here, and that's the screen. Now, the Axon 7 has one of the most gorgeous Quad HD displays I've seen in a while. That's non-Samsung. This is a fantastic display. You can see the colors really pop here. Really solid display. These are both 5.5-inch displays. They're really, really good. But I definitely give the edge to the Idol 4S. I think the Idol 4S's screen is way more punchy, way more vibrant. It just seems more vivid than the Axon 7 for some reason. This screen is gorgeous, guys. These are both 5.5-inch displays. The screen is just, it pops a little bit more on the Idol 4S. So the Idol 4S definitely gets the edge on the screen. Next, I want to talk about speakers. Now, this is something that people have always talked about in videos. Well, which one is louder? I think the Idol 4S is louder. I think the Axon is better. I think the Axon is louder. I think the 4S is better. In all the testing that I've done, the Idol 4S is louder. Okay, I've gone on record and said that before. In the unboxing, I said that this phone is louder. However, the quality of sound coming from the Axon cannot be matched by the 4S. It just can't happen. They're gonna need to, I know they got the JBL, the 3-watt speakers or whatever, and they are loud, but they're not that much louder than the Axon 7. The Axon 7 has a lot more punch and a lot more bass, and it's really deep. The Dolby sound just does it on this phone. ZTE did a fantastic job with these speakers. And right now, as far as my catalog goes, these are the best sounding speakers ever. Are they the loudest? Nah, not the loudest, because they're not louder than this phone, but it doesn't beat out the Axon in speaker volume by much. It's a lot more tinty over here, and over here on the Axon 7, it is extremely full. And if you don't know what I mean by full, you get a really rich sound from the Axon 7. I mean, it is just a great sounding speaker. So let me load up something here for you guys to listen to, and I'll just let you hear in this video. I wasn't going to do any kind of sound tests, you know, in this battle, like get sound tests out there, but I'm going to go ahead and just do this one for you, so you can kind of get a feel. I'm trying to get you to understand what I mean by full sound, rich sound. All right, so let's get rid of this ad here. Now you might say, well, Jay, that's not even that loud. That's not that loud. You're right. It's not as loud as these speakers, but you got to get it. Some things I just can't tell you over video. I just can't show it to you. Get you to feel it over video. It's just the way it is. What makes this one sound like it's louder is because of how tinty it is. But quality is over here.
Inside with the game type.
I mean, would you rather have a quality set of speakers or a really loud set of speakers? That's up to you. Speaker quality to me, and speakers go to the Axon 7. Next on the list is build quality. Now this is one that could definitely be subjective because some people might not like metal bodies and some people might not like glass. Some people like glass over metal. Personally, I think the Axon 7 has some of the best. This is a beautiful, beautiful device. This phone is beautiful. And the Idol 4S is beautiful. The shiny back, glass front and back. It's a good looking phone. I'm not going to lie. But I still say that the Axon 7 feels really good in the hand. This feels a little bit more rigid. This feels very soft and supple in the hand, very curvy. It just feels really good. And the fact that it's all metal, it's not that I prefer metal, I guess, all the time over glass, but I know that if I drop this on the back, it's not going to shatter. If I drop this on its back, it's going to shatter immediately. It's done. It's a wrap. Whichever side I drop this on, it's done. You know, and more importantly, all these fingerprints right here, and I'm not too keen on, you know, talking about that as a downer, but you can just clearly see all the fingerprints here. You know, I have to keep a rag on deck with this phone right here, you know, to keep it looking fresh and clean, you know. Now see how beautiful that looks afterwards? Looks great, right? But all I have to do is touch it again and it's over, you know. But build quality definitely for me goes to the Axon 7. I think the Axon 7 is great, and the build quality is very curvy. You know, the colors, it comes in silver and it comes in this gold. It's really nice. And I'll let you decide in the comments which one you think feels better or looks better. If you have both, then you can actually comment. If you felt both of these phones, if you touched them both, then give your comment. But if you're just going on what you see on video, it's very difficult to comment on something if you don't have them when it comes to touch and feel and build quality. If you don't have them in your hand, your comment is kind of just like blowing in the wind, I guess I want to say. So cameras, wow. This was a tough one, but not that tough. Straight to the point, this phone right here has much better cameras than this phone. I can't really, I'm gonna have to, let me get something to take a picture of. Let me grab my buddies here. I gotta show you because it'll be unfair if I just say, oh, this has great cameras. This just has a really good set of cameras. Try to get something that's got a little bit of color. Really, really clear, really sharp, really, really nice. Do you see the detail and clarity from the focus? Now, if I do the same thing with this phone, you'll get a good photo. Not gonna lie, you'll get a good photo. But I just feel like the Axon doesn't really do as good with photos as the. Let me turn off the screen rotation lock or turn it on. It doesn't do as good for me for some reason. You can see right here on camera, you know, just the difference. It gets really dark on the Axon for some reason or another. I don't know what it is. Every time I'm taking a photo, this is kind of how they turn out. So, you know, it's a little bit more sharp on here. This obviously, now both of these are on auto, because as a consumer, most people don't go into pro mode. And I know this has pro mode and everything, but most people don't use that. So I'm just kind of being as is, you know, just kind of, okay, this is what it is. I think that the cameras on the Idol 4S are better. The front camera is close, but the rear camera definitely goes to the Idol 4S for sure. Next is battery life. This was a close one. This was a very close one. However, the Idol 4S took it in battery life. I can really get a lot of battery out of this phone on a single charge. And I can get a lot of battery out of here. They both can make it over 6 hours. But this one can consistently probably almost get 7 on every charge. And I can definitely pull down 6 on this one on every charge. Great battery life. But this one can get closer to 7 on every charge. So, battery life goes to the Idol 4S. So, we've got screen for Idol, cameras and battery for Idol, and I didn't plan this, by the way. I'm kind of writing my notes down. And I've got speakers, build, and performance for the Axon. So, price. Well, both of these landed on the market at launch. They both came with a $50 discount, so you can get both of these for $350. And they both have some kind of perks with something free. You definitely get more in the box with the Idol 4S. You get VR headset, you get tempered glass, you get case, and then for the Axon 7, you get headphones, and you get headphones in this one too. You get JBL headphones. You get a lot with both of these, but just more with the Idol 4S. You're getting more in the box. You literally don't have to buy anything. You get a case and headphones for this. There's a screen protector pre-installed, but you have a tempered glass for this one. Only thing that you get more on this one pretty much is the VR, and that's a good bonus. So they both came in at $350 at the launch, and now they're both $399. These are equally matched phones. I don't know. I'll let you guys decide which. Just kind of turned out. I didn't think it was going to balance out like this, but it kind of turned out that way. So giving you real world testing that I've done and just real world usage. Both of these phones are great. I'll let you guys battle in the comments. But those are your numbers. It ended up being 3 and 3, and I don't know, man. The prices are the same. This is just great offerings for you, the consumer. That means you have a lot of choices to make. So having both of them in hand, I could easily say they're both great, and that's what I'm going to say. They're both fantastic. They both have their ups and downs, but I'll let you decide what you think is the better buy. Or you obviously getting a VR headset for this one. And a tempered glass in the box. But it's up to you to decide. Which one do you think is the better buy? Which one do you like better? And I know people who have this phone and don't have this phone will say that this phone is better, and vice versa. The other people who don't have this phone and have this phone will say, oh, this is great. But I suggest that if you can, I know you can't get this phone and touch it and demo it without purchasing it because it's not in store. So you'd have to know someone. But you can actually walk into Best Buy and get this phone. So it's kind of a catch-22, man. I think they're both great. So if anybody that's watching this video does have both, tell me what you think. It's your man Jay Will. The battle that you guys wanted, unscripted. I just don't do it. I just kind of freehand it, and after using both phones for a while, and it's good. It's good. What do you guys think? Which one do you like better? I'll see you in the next one.